Welcome to Imperfect Momming. Our children are constantly looking to us for examples. The term role model doesn't quite cut it here. We are shaping their worldview with every move we make. You see, it's not in the lectures we give or moments where we are actively attempting to teach them. It's in the micro movements we make, the unconscious ways in which we navigate life. We are constantly teaching our children how to show up for themselves, their friends, their future partners, and even their future children. So what can we do to ensure we are raising thoughtful, compassionate, self-aware human beings? We have to become them ourselves. No one is perfect, but we can still all be better, and it starts with self-healing. Let's get to it. Welcome back to the Imperfect Momming podcast. And if you are watching in our Facebook group, this is our pre-recorded call for our parent support call. So last week we talked about starting a gratitude practice.
Hi, everybody. Yes, and the gratitude practice we spoke about last week was literally just writing down 1 to 3 things, just a quick summary. Well, 3 things, having a list of, mine was always 3 to 5 things, and I've heard it, it could be 10 things, but 3 to 5 things is sort of the magic number that I've heard different, in different learnings that I've been through to do a gratitude practice, and actually to write that down daily. And what Alicia had explained last week is that the reason that is so powerful is that we actually literally train our brains to look for things that we're grateful for. And so one of the other things that we can do to grow gratitude, especially with Thanksgiving, for those of us in the United States that are observing and or celebrating this upcoming holiday, national holiday, again, in the US, is to really focus on what we're grateful for. And one of the things that we can be grateful for, because I know actually around the holiday times, it can be quite stressful. But one of the things that we can be grateful for is that we can create new traditions so that it's not stressful in our family of origin, in the home that we have. And how can we do that?
Yeah. One of the things that my family did growing up was we had, divorced parents. And so we would go to, one parent's house on Thanksgiving and then the next parent's house on Christmas. And then we would swap and alternate years. But then as we grew up, that stopped being the thing. And we started going, as we were adults, we started going to both parents' house on the same day. So we would go to mom's first for Christmas, and then the next day or later that day, we would go to my dad's house. And that was fine while we were like single. But as soon as we had partners, then it became, we're going to 3 different houses, or if the partner's parents weren't together, 4 different houses, on the same day. And that makes things a little more chaotic. And so my fiance and I have been playing around with what's the new tradition that we want to start. So, that's something that we kind of talk about in our holiday gimmies workshop. Setting the new traditions.
I'm sorry, what did you say, Alicia?
I said setting the new traditions.
Exactly. And I absolutely love that. And one of the things I think that we sometimes forget, even though we're adults with our own kids, we forget that we are a choice. Right? We forget that we can decide how it is we want it to be for our own families. And a lot of times that we don't feel like we're a choice is that we're stopped with guilt. We're blocked with guilt. And we feel like, well, we're going to upset someone. We're going to upset, the mother, the father, the grandmother, whoever it is that we're going to upset. But we have to also really stop and reflect and look at what is good for us and what is good for our children. And so when we're at choice, we really can think about what kinds of new traditions do we want to bring in, and or what is it that we want to do?
Right. Yeah,
What a
because
novel.
and it's real, the disappointing the family members, and it's real that there are family members that will put, we call it a guilt trip on you if you don't do what you've always done or what you are yeah, what you've always done. Like if you're planning on doing something different, like the guilt trip can be there, and sometimes managing that can be really difficult.
Absolutely. And yeah, I don't know. What's coming to me is what you can do then is reach out to us individually and get some
Right.
personal coaching around it, because that's what has helped me to really manage the guilt that I have had. And it's the guilt, the shame, the blame, like a lot of that. Really, you do need some support, or come to our support group. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be like, but that's really that is really the thing, because it goes back to what I'm saying. It comes back to our choice. And when we don't feel like we're at choice, and we feel like, well, we're doing it for them, then we do it, and then we feel really resentful. And so we're not doing it with an open heart. We're not really growing gratitude in doing it anyway.
Right. And it's not that we're trying to plug our services specifically, it's that the solution is individual. My solution is not the same as Melanie's solution. The solution, how we got to the solution, is the same. We both went through personal coaching. And so that's why, like, we're not going to sit here and tell you the way to deal with your family and your family's guilt trip is to do XYZ, because we don't know what the way is. We know some ways, and the way that's going to work for you might even take some trial and error. It might take some uncomfortable, sometimes for yourself, sometimes for the other person, uncomfortable conversations. But it's part of being an adult, being at choice, and creating and living a life that is yours, that you love.
Right. Uncomfortable conversations, and sometimes even uncomfortable feelings. And then on the flip side of it, when you do things that are true to yourself and true to your heart, we end up getting so much joy and enjoyment out of it. Like, for instance, last year on Thanksgiving, my son loves to cook. And so my son and his stepdad, my new husband, really just had a blast in the kitchen. It wasn't so fun for me because I ended up doing all the cleanup. Not all of it, but most of it. I'm kind of kidding, but it was really, really fun to be in that with them, participating, enjoying them. And that was, us starting a new tradition. And this year we're going to a different family. We're actually going out of town to family friends, and I've already spoken to her, and I said, would it be okay if my son came in the kitchen? And I mean, he's 17 now, and he's actually an amazing cook, and for him to really participate and be involved in the cooking. And she's like, absolutely. So that's kind of a new tradition that we came up with. And may not be the same every year, but it's just finding fun things that we can do that I'm really grateful for.
What if the tradition is doing something different every year? What?
Wow. Like, just keep it open. Just, it
Right?
doesn't have to be, it doesn't, that could be good. That's a little bit of a brain teaser, because I didn't, you don't think of that as a quote unquote
The
tradition.
tradition, right?
Yeah.
I actually saw a meme the other day that said traditions are peer pressure from dead people. And I was like, that feels so true.
Oh, that's hysterical. Oh my gosh, I love that. So the new tradition is there are no traditions.
There are no traditions.
Um, yeah, I do want to share one other thing that I have done over Thanksgiving, which I absolutely loved, which is literally to just go around the table, or actually even before we've sat down at the table, go around the room with whoever's there, and just everybody say what they're grateful for, maybe 1 to 3 to 5, whatever, and just go around. What are they grateful for the year? And it's actually something that we do on Friday nights when we light the candles. Is we do that every Friday night and just really reflect on the week, what we're grateful for. It doesn't have to be just around a holiday. It can be something that we can do, all year long.
Yeah. And it's a beautiful tradition. I've enjoyed doing it with you as many times as we've done it together. And so we are going to be announcing our virtual holiday, how to handle the holiday gimmies workshop in our lesson next week. We also have an live and in-person workshop coming up on December the 13th. Called Setting Limits and Sticking to Them. The in-person location is at St. Martin of Tours School in Brentwood at 9 o'clock on the 13th of December, which is a Wednesday. So if you are available, we would love for you to be there. And that's it for us this week.
Okay, okay.
All right, so we'll see you again. And until the next time, keep healing.
Keep healing.
Bye, guys.
Thank you for tuning in to Imperfect Momming. It's time for us to step up and realize that our power is not in trying to shape our children. Our power lies in shaping ourselves into the people we want our children to model themselves after. Don't just do it for your kids. Do it for yourself. When you become a more self-aware, compassionate, and confident person, you and everyone around you benefit. For more information about me and my work, visit AliciaLyons.com. That's ALYSIALYONS.com. See you next time.